Got a Twosun. Decent spinner. The box is kind of bulgy, so I'm thinking this is huge. And not so huge, but old school. Yeah, man. Wonder if I'm going to have to look this up. I believe I bought this on the, well, I know I did. I bought it on the secondary market, and I think it's new or like new condition or brand new in a box. I'm not sure. Something like that. You know what I mean? I mean, is that the original oily bag? I don't know. It's got natural G10 scales with the orange backspacer. And I do believe that's all legit. Let's see this blade. Yeah, come on. Yeah, instantly goes into the cool pile, right? D2 steel, night morning design, fairly lightweight. Let's get a model. I mean, you already know it's on the video, but I don't know, so I want to know what it is. So, you're going to see a little flicker here. Okay, this is a Twosun ts48, and this is a G10 version. There's a titanium version, has same steel. It's got D2 steel, but it's got titanium scales. And so, man, would I like to have that one. I'm pretty proud of having this one too, but I definitely would like that one. One of the main differences, besides the fact that it's got titanium scales, is that the knife would be thinner because this one's got steel liners and then the G10 scales, whereas the other one would be a frame lock and it's just titanium, and I find them to be quite a bit thinner. This one, the ergonomics, it's got good action. The ergonomics, I mean, in right out of the gate with some of these older models, I find them not to be very refined. Like the edges of the G10, like right here. And it's an easy enough fix. I mean, I'd fix it right here with this round file. I'll just come along this edge, knock that edge down, and it wouldn't take me 5 minutes to do both scales, and really soften up the feel of this knife. The pocket clip, it's that, I mean, it's almost sharp enough to poke you, but it's not really in a place to do that. So in the end, it, man, we'll come back to the ergonomics. Let's see if I can spidey flick it. Oh, yeah. I mean, the action's pretty decent on it. Thumb flick. Yeah. It's got that fuller that kind of runs the length of the blade that I can get definitely with a spidey flick. The thumb flick, it's sharp. I can definitely get it. And then a back flipper. Yeah, I mean the thing runs well, and it's comfortable in hand. I mean, you can definitely get there with this little finger choil here. How are we doing this way? Yeah, not so much right there. Not so much here. It's just, I don't know. You can definitely get here. Just a little awkward with the thumb. If you just power gripped it right here, this would work. Interesting. Well, let's get it apart. Let's see what's going on in there. Nothing else. We'll clean it. Get some light lube on it. So, it's old school. It's got the rubber O-rings on the pivot. Instead of using a Loctite back in the day, they'd put a rubber O-ring on it. Which, I mean, it's pretty cool. You have to be aware that you can tear those O-rings, keep taking the knife apart, assembly, reassembly. They can definitely tear. But they lock the pivot down for sure. They do a good job. Nice polished liners in here. A lot of skeletonizing going on this side. None on this side. but most of this side's taken up with the liner lock. Lots of fingerprints in here. We'll clean all that up. Nice big cage bearings. It's pretty dry for the most part. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's locked down, so I think we'll leave it. There's no real oil or anything in there. Nah, those come out. Why not? I say why not, and then of course it doesn't want to come out of there. There's oil behind it too, so I'm kind of glad that I progressed through it to see what's up. Let's see if I can't. There we go. I feel it coming. There's the other O-ring. One there, one there. Considering there was oil there, I'm going to pull the pocket clip. How much tension's on there? I mean, a fair piece. It's all T8 hardware. No T6s on these old school Twosuns, man. They brought the big guns for everything. Yeah, there's some oil and mess behind there, so I'm glad I took it apart. All right, I'm going to put my driver right there. Let's get some Tim's towel time going. Not tool time, towel time. Beautiful little hawk bill. I mean, I'm kind of partial to the blade shape. I like it. You know, I don't like it when it's overly done. I mean, the knife kind of gets a little, I don't know, space age. What am I trying to say? It gets a little where the design has become overpowering, maybe. But when it's subtle or semi-subtle like this, I like it. I do like this one. Yeah, see, these liners are going to shine up wonderfully. And we'll work hard to keep the fingerprints off it on the inside when we reassemble. Yeah. Transform the knife. Get it looking, you know, the show on the inside is going to be much better because right now it's dull and fingerprinted. And we're gonna clean all that up. Look at this one. That's the no wait. That's the inside. I mean, it doesn't even shine, so dirty. The detent was good, so I'm not going to mess with that at all. I'm going to leave that right where we found it. Lots of oddball little scratches in there on both sides of this liner. Lots of little scratches and rub marks in there. Huh, wonder what that's from. I'm going to spray that with a little cleaner. See if any of that comes off. Make sure it's scratches and not some kind of grease residue or something. Yeah, it's scratched. Huh, interesting. Alright, do a little cleanup here on these small parts. Yeah, here's an indicator of how thick that knife is. I mean, look at the depth of that pivot, man. Yeah. And that's because it's G10 and got them steel liners. The knives just get thick, man. Giving these bearings a little extra wipe. I think originally this probably had some grease. And I want to get it off of there. Make sure I leave those bearings nice and clean. So I was talking to my daughter, my wrestler, and said, hey, because her and I talk about knives. Like she'll come talk to me in my little space here, and inevitably she'll pick up a knife, and I'm gonna put a little tension on this pocket clip. I wonder if I can do it right here. Yeah, I did. But she'll come talk to me while I'm here about this or that, um, and then she'll pick up knives. I got knives sitting all over the place here. I take them apart, I mess with them, and then I move on to other things. And I'm going to come back to a project or whatever. And so she'll pick up knives and run the action, and she'll go, "Oh, I kind of like this one," or "Can I have this one?" She asks me for knives all the time. "Can I have this one?" No, you can't. So I mentioned to her a while back, "Hey, you should," because she'll run the action. Like she knows what I do back here. And so she'll run the action and, see if it's drop shut or, check the grip, different things. And, I don't know. She's kind of emulating what I do, I guess, and checking it out for herself, what she thinks of it. And I mentioned to her, "Hey, you should think about doing some videos with me. I think the viewers would love to see you in the video, and me and you could like talk about a particular knife." And I'm not saying, every day or definitely not every knife, but, maybe once a week it'll be, "Hey, let's get Addie's thoughts on a knife," right? I thought that'd be kind of fun. And I don't know if y'all enjoy it, but I'm just thinking to myself, I would enjoy the interaction with my daughter, and getting her thoughts on a particular knife. And, some of these maybe wouldn't be good candidates for that. And so I could put a little thought into, "Hey, I think this might be one that you would find interesting." And I think, like most teenagers nowadays, her ability to be candid is off the charts, man. Yeah. So, anyways, maybe watch for that. And I'll probably call it something, I don't know what yet. Maybe let her name it, Addie's 2 cents or. Okay, I was looking for a stop pin to go in there, but now that I'm looking at it, it's got internal stop pins that are captured by the liners. Okay. Yeah, so, I think it'll be fun, and so watch for that. I may try to get her. I just was talking to her just a few minutes ago about, "Hey, let's do one of these. Let's just do one and figure out how to film it and what we think of it and that kind of thing." I'm looking forward to it. Get to interact with my daughter in my knife world. And it's, you know what? I think more than anything, it's a way for me to involve her in it. Because it's such a private thing. Like my wife's not interested. My younger son, he's down. But man, he's so busy. What is he? 24, I think, 25. He ain't got time to be hanging out with his dad playing with knives. You're that age, you're busy, right? I know I was. I didn't have time for nonsense. I'm going to check this action before I put that pocket clip back. Just snug these up a little bit. Make sure we're good. Yeah. It's so good. Like, locked up super tight. Almost like some grime in there. I think I'm going to take some cleaner in my towel and go after that. I'm going to do it before I close this knife up, because if I can't get it off, I might have to take this knife apart. Because I do kind of see, well, it's got a hair. Surely that's mine. But there's like some dirt or something right there. Yeah, it came right off. Yeah, okay. Yeah, calm down, bro. All right, let's get this pocket clip up. Yeah, it's just some weird dirt in there. I want no dirt in my knife, man. Yeah, so speaking of my daughter, wrestling season's about to kick off, man. You know, she took a solid month off after Fargo Nationals, and she went out to tournament in North Carolina right after the hurricane. Trying to get in there was interesting, and she did not fare well there at all. Had a combined record of 1-2 and was sent home. And so not a good start to kind of what's going on this year. But we also know it doesn't mean much, because, it's not, at this point, again, it's not about W's and L's for her. It's about, figuring out the mental game and, travel, preparing, showing up to these tournaments. And she's really fine-tuning that game as far as winning matches. She's got a lot of tools when it comes to that. And so there's something about traveling out that far. It's such a long trip. I mean, it's literally almost 24 hours in a car for us. We don't fly to that because I ain't got that kind of money to put a bunch of people on an airplane and, that kind of thing. And so it's just, the trip doesn't fare well for her. And so it's part of her game, having to figure it out. Speaking of figuring it out, look at this beauty right here. We're done. Let's make sure all of our tools are put up. I mean, solid as a rock in the action. This thing's cleaned up beautifully. Inside of the scales are nice and shiny now. Yeah, let's talk about this action. So just the tiniest little shake to get it to come down. The back flipper, I don't know if I can fail it. It feels kind of light maybe, but let's see. Oh, it's like right there. Yeah, so, I mean, the detent's almost like what I would say is perfect. I'm not a heavy detent person, but I do like them to not be able to fail them. Spidey flick is 100%. The thumb flick, I mean, I'll give it a B. I mean, could I just tighten that up a little bit? Yeah, probably. I mean, this is scalloped and lowered, easy access to the liner lock, very intuitive to reach in there. There's nothing complicated going on. Just a little pressure from the thumb will unlock this knife. Yeah, pretty good. What about ergonomics? So not so confident, very confident. And the the back flipper acts as a good finger guard. Nice jimping on the spine. It's not quite combat. I can definitely slide through it. The tapering here allows, the back of this to really grip in. Good jimping on this G10, this orange G10 backspacer. And then the pocket clip digs in. So all in all, there's definitely a confident grip going on here. Like this is, slicing here, very confident. This is pretty good. I can cap this. It's just a little odd because it got so narrow, but it's right on the joint. Unfortunately, this kind of grip, to me is, it's only this, because going like this is kind of, to me, it's not an option. It's against the sharp part of the blade. And if it's forcing the lock that if it was to fail, to come over on my fingers. I'm not interested in that at all. So the only way I would ever hammer with a lock or want to hammer down, like this, is going to be this way. So I'm coming with the sharp point, the sharp edge of the blade, and the natural arc as I'm coming. You know, it's like this. Could I pickle with this knife? I mean, man, it's close. It's kind of locking my palm in behind that finger guard. I mean, I think I could, but I don't know. I mean, I might be stretching it a little bit. Overall, the ergonomics are pretty solid. Like I did say at the beginning of the video, it's just everything could really be used to be knocked down and softened a little bit. And the knife is a little thick. You know, the G10 with the steel liners, they tend to be, in these Twosun models, they tend to be thicker. Look at that pocket clip. I put a little tension on it, and yeah, there is a lot of profile here, well over an inch of the knife sticking out, which doesn't bother me one bit. I mean, I'm not in a necessarily where I got to be stealthy with my pocket knife. The tension on it is F5 grade. Wherever I put this knife, it's going to be there even after these get blown 200 miles away in a tornado. When I found these shorts, that knife would still be locked right in that pocket spot right there. That's my spot in the back pocket. Yeah, wonderful tension on that pocket clip. Let's check for safety, see if we can make blade contact. Yeah, so I can touch the very edge. See that very edge sticking up right there? Yep, I'm getting that all day long. And don't think for a second that that ain't sharp. I mean, that is a sharp spot, man. I got a little palm nick the other day right there, and it was from a spot just like that. I'm trying to remember how I did it, but I think I don't remember, but I choked up and caught just the back edge right there. And man, it's as sharp as the rest of the knife. So anyways, I can catch that edge right there. And so if I was reaching in this pocket, reaching down into that pocket, yeah, boom, my finger goes right on that blade right there. So the blade's exposed there. What about the tip? The tip is recessed. The clip's amazing. I'm pretty confident I can handle this knife, but I would just say be aware that the blade is exposed back here. And it's a fair piece. I mean, definitely running my finger over that sharp edge. Speaking of sharp edge, maybe it's not sharp. Maybe it's nothing to worry about. Check that hawk bill. Oh, it was really sharp the first 2/3 almost, and then it was boogered up. I'm going to try to strop it on my little work sharp strop and see if just a couple of strops will take care of whatever that is. This little work sharp, man. If you don't have one, golly, get one. If you don't know how to sharpen a knife, golly, get one of these. It will walk you through get you the principles of what's going on, and they're so handy. Yeah, still boogered, just a little bit right here in this curve, but oh my goodness, is that part sharp. So I am going to run it on a piece of wood. Yeah, I felt it. Little boogers right up in that spot right there. All right, now that I've done that, I'm going to run it a couple more times. I mean, the lower part of that curve is, oh, I'm going to say it's hair shaving sharp. I don't know, did it get that way from the factory, or did somebody work on this knife? It looks to be a factory edge to me. I don't see any indicator that that's been dressed up or touched up or anything. Golly, is the bottom half of this sharp. That right there. It's got a little booger right in that spot, man. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, a little bit of strop work, a little bit of ceramic work, and it's still a little chunky on that curve. But here's what I figured out about it. It's something to do with the curve, because see that right there? The tip of this thing is ridiculously sharp. Look at it. It's just, for some reason, when I'm coming around that curve, it's acting like it's stuck, but it is not. This whole blade, I mean, I'm telling you, this thing, stupid sharp. Yeah, crazy sharp. And if I was a channel that proved that out, I would definitely use this knife to prove it out, how sharp it is, because, man, is this thing sharp. And I don't know that I got it that way. I think I got it that way. Yeah, it showed up that way, man. It's crazy sharp. Anyways, a Twosun TS, what did a 48, ts48. Yeah. Hey, I appreciate y'all watching.